Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sadashiva-samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sakana Vavatu Sakana Punattu Sakaviryam Karavavakai Tejasvina Vadidamastuma Vatvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good morning. So in the Isavasya Upanishad, there are 18 mantras, as we know. We have done the first 5 or 6. The first 8 mantras are the Vedanta. In the 8 mantras, Vedanta is completely given. It's a Sikh Paramarahasya. You know, how is it Paramarahasya? Rahasya means something you don't tell anybody, right? Or you tell to whom you trust. If it is published and printed and we discuss it, and how can Upanishad is called Rahasya, Paramarahasya. See, in the world, Rahasyam is, the word Sanskrit word Rah is itself is secret, private. So Rahasyam in the Laukika Rahasyam, the worldly Rahasyams are knowledge that is hidden. You don't tell. So if you tell, the Rahasyam is goes away, right? So if you go to that shop, you get a cheap goods, and if you don't want to tell somebody, that is a Rahasyam, you keep it. But the knowledge is not there. In Vedanta, when you say Paramarahasyam, Supreme Rahasya means, here it's not about the knowledge. Knowledge is printed. The books are there. Internet is there. People are talking like we discussed right now. So I'm telling a Paramarahasyam now. But how can it remain a Paramarahasyam if I reveal this, or if a teacher reveals to us? Here, Rahasyam is secret anubhuti, experience. Remember, Vedanta means, another meaning is end of knowledge, end of knowing. To vid is to know. Veda antam goes. One meaning is the essence of Vedas. The other meaning is it's end of knowledge. It is nothing to do with knowledge. But jnanameva kaivalyam, you need knowledge. All the knowledge we get is to destroy our ignorance. Because the fulfillment that we are seeking is not attainable by action, because the fulfillment that you are seeking is not something to attain. Because if something you want to attain because you don't have it, it was not there before. If you attain it, you have it. The very reason you attain it, it'll go away. That's a logic. That's a law. That's a logic. But what is not there before can never be there forever. This is the Maha Mantra. If it is not there before, if it comes now, it will go away. Families, friends, properties, health. There is no need to worry about that. So therefore, what is the fulfillment we are seeking? The fulfillment we are seeking is not that you want to attain, but to realize that you are that fulfillment. It is there before. It is there now. It is there forever. So I am the bliss Surupam. I am the complete fulfillment. My action in this world does not affect me. I am liberated. Why I am not knowing this? Because you have ignorance. So how do I remove the ignorance? You need knowledge. Therefore, when knowledge gives liberation means people argue. Bhakti gives moksham, or jnanam gives moksham, all that kind of argument at one level. But it's very simple. Jnanam is the ultimate alkaline that you need to remove the acidity of ignorance. It is the scrubber you scrub so that your ignorance goes away. So what does Vedanta makes you? Vedanta does not make you special. Vedanta does not make you anything superior than you are already are. Vedanta makes you an extraordinary person because truth is simple. Truth does not require a makeup. Yeah. Falsehood requires makeup. Falsehood requires so many things to put on. Truth is absolutely simple. If Vedanta gives truth, Ishvara is truth, Atma is truth, it has to be very simple. Why I'm struggling to learn this? It is not because truth is making it difficult. It is the untruth, the falsehood that we have, adhyasam we have, the piles and piles of it. That have to be removed. So that is why that jnanam is given in this Upanishad. Anybody can get this jnanam. Its secret is not lost because jnanam is like having Meenakshi Amma's cookbook. You know the cookbook, you know how to cook, but your stomach is not fulfilled. You even know how to cook. Stomach is not fulfilled. You cook, stomach is not fulfilled. Only when you eat, that is anubhuti. Now when you eat, that relish that you have, that fulfillment that you have is entirely yours. That is the secret. That is the Paramarahasya. So in Isopanishad, these 8 mantras are giving the essence of Vedas. Everything is there, which Bhagavan Krishna in Mahabharata, in Bhagavad Gita, elaborates in 18 chapters. He even uses the same words of Isopanishad, but of course, Bhagavan is so beautifully explains in so many different ways what is contained in these 8 mantras. So we have done up to 5, we do 6, 7, 8 today so that we come to a conclusion. But you have to really, in this, you need to have a belief journey. See, all the Vedanta, whenever you listen to Vedanta, not just because with the little knowledge I say something, but even to go to great scholars, when you listen to them, everything looks like you understand. And then you don't understand. But that is not a failure, but that is the real nature, because you are not trying to understand something outside of you. You get what I'm saying? It's not like understanding a physics or math problem. It's not an object to resolve and bring to resolution. Because you are trying to understand the understander. The eye is trying to see the eye. How can you do? So therefore, you have to really come to the conclusion, It is apremeyam. I cannot see it. I cannot know it. But I cannot deny it. Nobody can deny that I exist. Nobody. Because I know I exist. So therefore, if you feel like you are not understanding it, it doesn't matter. You are on the right track. But what it is that Vedanta is giving something which is not available anywhere. This is the key. Shraddha is what is Shraddha. See, all the Shraddha, Vairagya, Jnanam, everything you will discard at some stage. Nothing we need, because we need this truth. But we need this Shraddha, Vairagya, everything, because it's a slippery slope. So if I know by understanding it, I clearing my mind, I do that, I achieve it. What does this say? Isavasyam idagam sarvam yat kintu jagatyam jagat kena tekkena bunjita makrade tasya viddanam. If you are happy to do, please just memorize these 8 verses, first 8 verses. You're done for life. What did we say in the first verse? It gives you straightforward. See everything in divinity. Cover the whole universe with the divinity as your vision. Your perception should be all divine. If you cannot see divinity because you see your perception that he is the angry man, he is the bad man, he is the bad thing, because your experience told you, this person has done harm to you. I know this person done harm to me. When I have that vision comes, when I see him every time, I cannot see divinity. Therefore, this srishti that I am making, the jiva srishti, the one that I am, this is the speciality of human beings. Narajanmam durlapam. A sheep that has gone to the butcher shop, it will happily eat in the grass. Some other goat is being slaughtered, he doesn't care. He doesn't have a mind. But we know. Therefore, we create srishti. Our srishti is bad, good, raga, dvesha. So, first mantram said, tena tyaktena. When you sacrifice these things, that your srishti, see as it is, as Ishvara srishti, bunjita, then you will protect yourself from the samsara. Then magritaha kasyavintanam. So whose desire you need, whose property you need, everything is yours. Now, this sounds very interesting. How can I see divinity in all? So you say, look, I cannot see divinity in all. Because if I want to see divinity in all, that all includes me. So first of all, I must see that I am divine. We don't think we are divine. This is the fundamental problem, because you have Dina Bhavam. Oh, what am I? I'm a poor man. I'm impoverished. I'm ill-educated. I have a small car. I don't have these things. So you find all the problems, and you find yourself in your own way, a pitiable condition. You can't see divinity. You can't see divinity in you. You can't see anywhere else. What do you mean divinity in me? Someone asked me yesterday when we were in a get together. Somebody asked me a question. So, say Vedanta says, Aham Brahmasmi, I am the Brahman. I am everything. So if I am Brahman, you are Brahman, then we are the same. Then can I take your property? You can take my property. The question sounds very logical, right? But the understanding is wrong. We have not gone to the state of I am Brahman yet. Because The Brahman is not an issue. No, Brahman will just go away because, like, if you don't know anything in a mathematics, in the equation, you put an X and then you resolve, the X goes away and the equation is solved. No? Like we did the example of 17 elephants to be shared. A new elephant comes in and it goes away. So Brahman or God comes and goes away because we create the God concept. But the thing is to solve myself. So in Aham Brahmasmi, I am the Brahman. The Brahman is not a problem to worry. It is Aham. Which is this I? So therefore, when you say divinity, what does it mean? I'm not becoming, I have a bragging right to say that I am Brahman, I am Ishvara, because I can quote Samari Upanishad. That's not the point. The point is, can you find the true Aham inside you? If you already found out, Tvampada Vicharam, you have done it. You know who you really are. You are not this body, you are not the mind, you are not the intelligence, you are the Chaitanyam inside it. Then the mantra said, yeah, if you got it, hold on to it. Be that you protect it. It's called Jnana Nishtha. That's what the first mantra said. I am not seeing the divinity. I am still seeing me, my bad person. Therefore, if I can't see divinity, I cannot see anybody else divine. So therefore, the first mantra is a Lakshya mantra for us. We are not there yet. Therefore, I need something else. The second mantra came in. Kurvanneva karmani jijivishe sadagum samaha evam tvayi nanyadeto asti na karma liphidenare. Then it said, compassionately, okay, my child, since you don't have the divinity identified in you, even though you try very hard, you always find fault in you, fault in others. That's because your mind is cluttered. I watched the outside and the guy in the opposite house who is washing the cloth, and every day I see the cloth is dirty. I blame him. He's not washing it very well. But then when someday I clean up my window, I see he's actually washing it well. His clothing are looking good. My window is polluted. Therefore, my perception of things are wrong. Therefore, to reach the first mantra stage, I must clean my window of mind. So how do I clean the mind? Body, I can use a shampoo and I can put some perfumes, I can make it look good. The mind, oh, think about good things. Yeah, but I can't think about good things all the time. So how do I do that? And it said, very simple. What do? You do what you ought to do and don't do what you should not do. What does it mean? It means you follow a virtuous path. Don't steal, don't have avarice, don't be greed. All kind of common ethics. Then you start developing virtuousness. Then you start appreciating karma. Doing the duty is a good thing. Then you do things, get things, it's in karma. If I do this, I get this. If I pray to God, I get this. If I do this yajnam, I'll get this prayojanam. So you go, desire drives you, but you do good karmas. Then he said, well, this karmas gives you result. Since you do the karma, the results come to you. The law of karma says, if you do things, the effect is something you have to bear, both positive and negative. So the joy of doing right things and getting right results, after some time, makes me wonder, am I in this endless trap? Yes, you are in an endless trap, but your mind is still not pure. What the Veda says, do a little adjustment. You do what you continue to do, right things you do, because you only do what you ought to do, but change the attitude of doing it. What do you mean by that? The attitude is, this action I have the authority to do, because I have decided to do, but the completion of the action is not in my hand. Every action I do has got an impact by the will of God. Therefore, the outcome of action is Ishvara Prasad. Have the bhavana, have this attitude, which means whatever the outcome, failure, small failure, big failure, success, big success, no matter, whatever I take with an equal reverence. Ishvara Prasad. So I am moving away from doing karma to karma yoga. It gives me freedom. I have no anxiety now. Before I do action, I need to bid this, particular property. I go with action. Anxiety is there. I win sometime, lose sometime. Winning gives me joy. Losing gives me sadness. But now I will go with a clear mind. Make my bid. If I win, good. If I don't win, no problem. Now you see, I am not moving away from the thing. I'm building karma yoga. Then after some time, I think, well, I do, and Ishvara comes and helps and gives me the result. I take the results back to myself. Now I think, what do I take from this? This punya, this pavam, all this, what does it do? It makes me do again the same samsara. Then what can I do to avoid that? I will say, well, I'll do my action, right action, with the right attitude, without expectation, so that I become a useful element in this world, like a sun putting a light on the trees blossom and the fruits come in, without expecting anything. I do my karma. There is no way of, like Arjuna was trying to escape and become a sannyasi. No. You do what you have to do. But now I've gone to the maturity. The prayojanam of that, I don't need it. If it's hungry, it will get fed. I don't need anything. I don't work for it. So I become a karma sannyasi because I am sacrificing my karma palam, which gave liberation to Karna. Karna was doing all these things, but he was not dying. He was not, the embodiment is not leaving. Abhinivesam is there. And Bhagavan goes to him and say, sacrifice your karma palam. Become a karma sannyasi, not a karma yogi, karma sannyasi. So now you change an attitude. I will do right things. Ishvara prasadam, no expectation. I even sacrifice. That means my actions become service action, public action. Surrender. Now, when I do that, what is the possession I have? Nothing. But how do I do my job? How do I get resources? Everything will come. Because God says, you ask for sadhagam, live for 100 years doing karma. The Prakriti needs you and I to do the work. Now, this is a man or a woman who is committing to do his dharma for hundreds of years. I, as the power of God, make him happy. I will give him resources. I will give him whatever he wants. So you will see things will fall in place. You will do whatever you want to do. When you do that, the mind becomes pure. The mind becomes pure, you will jump to mantra 1, Isavasya Upanishad. Then you become a Jnananishta. So first is a Nivritti Margam, second is a Pravritti Margam. And if I don't do these two, neither I understand the first one, nor I do Karma Yoga, but I am a good person in the society. For my family, my life, my children, my neighborhood, my house, I take care of this in a rightful way. I'm a good citizen. Ethos are followed. Then you will be a good human being for many, many janmas. But all this world you go is Asurya namate loka andena tamasabrata tamse petya vikachantiye. You are called Atmahanocha. So if you're like that, no matter where you go, Indraloka, Swargaloka, Satyaloka, wherever you go, Brahmaloka, anything you go, Kailasha, wherever you go. Shankara, Bhashyam, he says, Upanishad straight away, these are all Asurya. Asurya means Atmahanaha, one who killed the Atma, one who not realized the self, one who ignored the true nature of oneself. You are permanently doomed. That's why Indra and all the Brahma, everybody is worried about their job because somebody will take the job over. So in the first three, the whole tattvaryam of living has been explained. Then we ask the question, okay, to see myself, what is the word I should use? Upanishad, just Atma. You see the Atma. I see Atma in myself, and I say Atma in yourself. I see an Atma in that, Atma in that. That means Atma is everywhere. Is Atma is a man or woman? I cannot say because Atma is in me as a man, and Atma is in you. Lakshmi ji in you is a woman. Atma is in the tree. So it is genderless. Therefore, we call it Atma Tattva. Don't think Tattva means a concept. It's not me. Because concept is everything. Idea is what you are. So therefore, Atma is what I need to understand. Then it said, it gave in the fourth verse 7 words, 7 phrases to define the Atma. And we saw Vedas do not define Atma. You cannot define Atma. But you can negate what is not Atma. When I said this, you may have an idea. If there is something not as Atma, therefore there is an Atma is there. Something else exists. Then it kills the whole concept of Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagate or Shivamayam. The whole concept goes away. There's something else there. But this is like a kindergarten, right? Let X be, that we use that. We are going to negate all this. We are going to negate there is no Anatma, Atma. Everything is Sarvatma. Right now, for our limited understanding, there is Atma, there is Anatma. To understand that, you can say Atma is Chetanam, conscious principle, awareness. Anything that has no awareness, there's no expression of awareness, is Jatam. The table is Jatam. It is there, it doesn't, what is Jatam means? I can see this thing, it reflects light. So there is a bit of a consciousness there. But it doesn't know that it exists. How do I know? Vedas says so. But you and I know that they exist. Animals do know they exist because they are afraid of when you take a cow comes in, you take a stick, it runs away. You take a grass, it comes to you. It knows, but they are by instinct for their sensual pleasures. Only human being has got a mind. So there is a part of awareness and the jadam, inert part. So it talks about the awareness, Chaitanyam. How does it say? Anejat dekam manaso jiviyo naina deva apnuvan purvamashat tat davato anya tatye tishtate tasminnabo madrishva datati. Anejat, ejat means moving. So now it gives, because I cannot explain to you, I give you some fascinating riddles so that you can imagine and start thinking to apply the not this concept. Atma is unmoving, unaged, unmoving. Okay, my Atma is unmoving. So your Atma is also unmoving. Now Vedanta brings another important word. Ekam or Advaitam. It is indivisible. Hey, that means Atma in me and Atma in you are the same. But Ishvara and Atma in Ishvara, the Paramatma, Parama means supreme. That's also the same Atma. That means where the conclusion leads to, I am Ishvara. Now, if I go back to Isavasya Upanishad, then I must see two things. I not only see divinity in everything, I see no difference in anything. Now, this is double hammer on our head. I'm already struggling to see divinity in everything. And I am told I must purify my mind. I will do that. But now it tells me, not only you see divinity, you see non-difference in everything. That means you are me, I am you. This looks terribly wrong, right? How can you be? Genders, size, weight, everything matters. So this is frightening. Therefore, many just shun away from this and they say these are all upachara words. And they took a very comfortable position because Vedas are so big. You can choose what you want to observe and you take a theory, you can create a concept and live comfortably in your cuckoo land. Because why do you need Vedas to come and tell me you and I are different? What's the point of it? I know it, you are different than me. If it is going to come and tell me that they are different, I toss the Vedas away. They are a waste of time. It is telling you that though they appear different, they are not different. It makes you think. That means appearance is deceptive. Why? Something appears means something is cooked, manifested, made. So made of what? Made of something that is made before. So that means there must be something made before everything else, which God used to make it, to make other things. Ridiculously nonsensical. That means there is God and there is God's material. God we cannot question. He is costless. But what about this material? The material also costless, then God is not all powerful. But there is a school of thought. Like Dvaitam is exactly like this. Madhacharya gives you a lot of example to prove this, and it is very illuminating because very revealing, very reasonable, because our mind is wired to look differences only. The differences do exist. They are real, but they are relatively real. If the Maya it doesn't like, you don't like it, illusion don't like it, you take it as real. As real as your dream. In your dream, when you are experiencing dream, if I am able to come into a dream and say, Balam Mama, don't worry, it is not real. And you say, Raja, look, the dream is happening. And I am experiencing it. I'm sweating it. Next day morning, we laugh it off. But that world of dream is real. But Jnani says, This world of living in this world is also a dream in a bigger bubble. We have no choice but to believe them, because if you give up that, then you are doomed. So we have a Shraddha, but we have to recognize that, and we go through the path of Jnana Yoga. So that you can see the first two phases, it has put in so much of things. Then you say, okay, I will tell you, compared with your body. It said, Manaso Jadiyo, it's faster than your mind. Okay, we saw that one. Naina Deva Apnuvan Purvamarshatu. It reaches faster than the senses. Okay. It's faster than the mind, faster than the senses. The first aprameyam, agocharam, incomprehensible. Taddavado anyanatyedi. Anything that moves, time, space, it transcends everything else. We saw all these things in the previous class. Tishtata, but it is stays put. If it is staying put, but it is faster than everything else, which means it is everywhere. Omniscience, omnipresent. That's the reason, only reason I can see this and that. Please don't underwrite as an imagination. When you go to quantum physics, the quantum entanglement, they come back and say, look, I see the same thing here. Einstein said, no, this is crazy. He didn't believe in it. And he died regretting that he could not believe. He has made statements which is against the quantum physics. I'm not saying quantum physics is gospel, it is still learning. But what it is coming to the theory of uncertainty, that things are there everywhere. The same particle can be anywhere else. Which means if I measure with the speed, then I fail, because it is not something moving from A to B. Sarvagyatvam, Sarvadaram, Sarvarasam. So there is that Atma which is everywhere. It's very rejuvenating. Then it went to the next verse. Tade jati, tarnai jati, dat dure dat vandike. Tatantarasya sarvasya, tadu sarvasyasya bhasyada. So here big three riddle. Tade jati, tarnai jati. It moves not. It's the same verse in mantra 4, but it gives you a riddle to contemplate. It moves not. So when you see, when you look at the corpse, when somebody is dead, the body is down. It's very evident when you look at it. That's why in every death you witness, you must reborn in yourself. Multi-millionaire Steve Jobs, my envy of on the technical leadership, he invented Apple computer and made so many things. He lived like a saint without having anything to own. One day it's gone away. None of his property is gone with him. None of his fame gone with him. So when you see a dead body, then you see this body was totally immaterial, nothing it can do, insentient, inert. There's something gone out of this. So something doesn't move, something moves. So what moves away, that I have to really think through my mind, use Vedas and say that is this Sukshma Sarira. So if I go through the Sukshma Sarira, then there is a Karna Sarira. And I go inside that, there is something which unmoves, which witnesses everything. So we saw all these things in the last class. Moves not. Tad dure, tad anvantike. It is very near, very far. Then we saw an example of the 10 boys counting themselves, right? Here, this distance is called distance by ajnanam. Because what are we seeking now? We are seeking the knowledge to reveal the truth. If you are ignorant, the knowledge is far away from you. When you know it, it is very close to you. That is outside, that is inside. How can it be outside and inside? And we put an example there. Outside and inside because, what example we said? We said the example of pot in the space. To teach space to the child, I say, see inside is space. That emptiness is space. Yeah, okay. Now if you see anything outside is space. But what this mantra has led you to contemplate, if it is inside, it's outside. So what is making this inside and outside? There's a separation there, right? If it's inside and it's outside. How can you say inside and outside? Because that is something separates those two. Can this, what it separates, can it be the same as what is inside material and outside material? Give an example of, say, a pot with water, right? You take the pot with the water and say the water is immersed in a river. So, you look at it, there's a river water. Inside there's a pot, but it's a pot water. You look at the pot water, the water is inside the pot. And there's water outside the pot, the river. Now, tell me, is the pot water, is it river water? Yes, it is, because it's in the river. Is the river water in the pot water? Yes, it is the same in pot water. But what makes the pot water different from the river water in my perception? Because there is a pot. The pot is the upadhi, adjunct. Now, because it makes a difference, can the pot be the same as the content? Imagine the pot also made of water. Can there be a difference? No. The pot is different. It's a clay, not water. That's why it can differentiate. Therefore, if I say the water is Atma, the Atma is inside the pot, outside the pot. Therefore, the pot is what? Not Atma, therefore it's Anatma. Therefore, to bring this concept of Atma, Anatma, Nitya, Anitya Vastu Vivekam, we take the Atma to be inside and outside. And now, the next mantra is going to say, hey, you say inside and outside, but where is inside exist? Where it is outside exist? They exist in all sides. Therefore, the space which is inside the pot, the space that is outside the pot is the container of space and the pot. Therefore, the pot itself is in the Atma. Now, if the Vedanta is asking me to look for my Atma inside, now this mantra just demolishes that. Yeah, you look for inside. But remember, it's also outside. Isavasya. If you are looking divinity inside you, remember it is also outside you. I am like a mud pot submerged in the river. But Vedanta helps you to look at it. Look at yourself first. Make you the important person in life, in your life, because that's a fact. That's the trick we miss in our life. It's not being selfish. It is being self-centered for growth. You are the hero or a heroine. You are the center of your life. Everything works around you. The whole world works around you. Mayeva sarvam pratishtitam. The whole thing works around me. Therefore, if I put myself in front of everything, which myself, which I, not this Raja, the over talker, the arrogant fellow, no. This is the divinity in me. It is not bringing your ego into this, but the divinity in me is what I am going to focus on. Therefore, I have this upati of body as outside. So when I need to see, the next mantra you will see, then we need to break this upati in our concept. Yastu sarvani bhutanyatman atmanye vanupashyati. Yastu sarvani bhutan atmanye vanupashyati. Sarvabhudeshu cha atmanam tatona vijigupsate. Yahatu. Yastu means yahatu. Whoever sarvani bhutani atmani eva. Atmani eva. Here is the seventh case, vibhakti. In the Atma, in the self, sarvabhudeshu atman. Yastu sarvani bhutan. If I can see all these bhutas, means all the objects I see, everything I see, sarvani, atmani eva, only in self, anupashyanti. Pashyanti means seeing. Anupashyanti means, anu is discipline. See with the discipline that has been imparted to you by the Shastras, Shastra Jnanam, Guru Upadesam. Not from your own thing, My mind, and people used to say, no, I go by with my mind, what mind says. You cannot go by your mind says. Mind is a monkey. It's full of blemish. Oh, I go with my consciousness. Oh, you haven't found the consciousness yet. Therefore, until you find your pure consciousness, you have to take the Veda Vakyam, Shastra Vakyam, Guru Vakyam. However, Guru wants you to look at the world, look at it, Pashyanti. How did the Guru say? Isavasya Upanishad. Therefore, see everything in you. Then, Sarvabhudeshu Atmanam Tadaha na vijigupsade. Now you also see yourself in all lives. Sarvabhudeshu. So when you get honor, I feel that I am honored because you are only a different manifestation of the same Atma Tattva that I have. Why should I be angry at you? Why should I be upset with you? The important word here is vijigupsate. Jigupsate means some sort of fear, insecurity. Here, I think Shankara uses two different meanings. There are actually three different meanings. The Isopanishad, the same thing, the same phrase is used. Jigupsate means you don't have insecurity. You don't have insecurity. Jigupsa, jigirsha, jipsa, jignasa, all these are, I want to become somebody. I want to learn something. I want to become somebody else. All this kind of eager that comes to. So here it says, if you're able to see you in others and others in you, you will not have insecurity. Why? Because insecurity comes from fear. Fear comes from ragadvesham, greed. No, it's completely open. It also means there are two other meanings. Shankara says one is karunyam or karpanya dosha. That's better. You won't really sympathize others. Is not sympathy a good virtue? Sympathy out of love is a good nature. Somebody is suffering, you go and help out of love, that's fine. That's what he meant. Here it is coming out of your ignorance. Imagine somebody is sitting, you go on a train, somebody comes there, young boy, he's lame, he's legs have been cut off. And you say, oh my God, what happened to you? Oh, this is like this. Oh, then you talk all this thing. So your focus on him is his disability, and you outpour your sympathies. Jigupseth. This is what Jigupsam. As if you are healing. No, you are not. You are really making him to suffer because you don't treat him, forget the divinity, you don't even treat him like a normal person. So you should never discuss this thing. Treat them as if, what is this body? If you see divinity, body is, yeah, this, some got 4 legs, some got 2 legs, some got 1 leg. It doesn't matter, who cares? Divinity is there. So you don't have, you don't have this kind of a thing. Worst is when you bring that sympathy to yourself. Self-pity. That leads to fear. Like Arjuna had this. Arjuna says, Bhagavad Gita, I am afflicted by the Karpanya dosha. Karpanya dosha means dosham out of compassion. See, he is compassionate to Vitura and Acharyas and brothers who is going to fight and going to kill. I'm going to kill them. I feel sorry for them. See? 3 things. 1 thing, he thinks he's going to kill. He thinks he's ahankaram. 2, he's got attachment. 3, he had nothing to do. So what can he do? No, somebody's going to die. Now, he said that. Sincerely, he said that not because they are going to die. It's only a cause. Because when they die, it's going to hurt me. You have to think about it very seriously. In our relatives, they're crying when you're in a dead bed, you're sick. They're crying. They're crying because why? Because you're going to go? Yeah. They're going to miss you? Yeah. But what hurts them? Because it is not giving them happiness. They will miss your resources, they will miss your support, they will miss your love, whatever. It is them not feeling good without you. Remember, Mayeva Sarvam, you are the center of everything. That sadness because I am going to miss. So when I leave, Yamadutas or Shivadutas or Vishnudutas coming take me to liberation, I'm going to go happily. Now this whole family is now, don't let me go. They feed me, they desire, oh, think about this God, pray to this God. You will survive in this body. Because they are worried. That is Karpanya dosha. Abhinivesha. Dina Bhava. It's much better word. You think yourself as very impoverished. Never say, when somebody asks you, how are you? Chalta hai, life just goes on. Who am I? I'm just an ordinary person. No, you are not an ordinary person. You are an extraordinary person because you have the divinity in you. You have the capacity to understand it because Vedas are with us. Teachers are teaching you. Therefore, I am good, but I want to be better and the best because I need to remove my Karpanya dosham on me. Now that will go away if you start seeing yourself in others. This is what this one is. Equanimity. The next one, 7th, Yasmin sarvani bhutan atmaiva bhut vijanata abhut vijanata tatra ko mogaha ka shogaka egatman paschetha. These 2 mantras are very important mantras, not important, very prasiddha mantras. All mantras are important because Shankara quotes them very often. The 7th one he says, Yasmin, in who, but let's take in time. Whenever, let's take whenever, Sarvani Bhutani Atma Eva Abhut. Abhut means having perceived, having attained, having reached. Whenever you have this assumption, assertion that, like what the sixth mantra told, I am you and you are me. I have this bhavam of oneness. Vijanataha. Janta means knowing. Vijanata means one who knows this and applies it. So when he does it, what happened? For that time, for that person, tatra, then and there, ko mohaha. Where is the delusion? Kaka shogaha. Where is the grief? Because ekatvam anupaschetaha. He is seeing only oneness in everything else. I use the word asmin to be time because, when I am saying this and you're hearing this, when you're hearing it very intently, your mind will feel blissful and you see no difference. Your fellows sitting next to you, listening to you, you see the same bhavam. Because this thought is lingering in my mind. But believe it or not, it gives me peace and I treat you with respect, no matter how you look. Then I get out of the class and I take my car, drive. Somebody comes in between, I bounce on him. Don't you have sense, idiot? What happened now? It does not stay. That's why Yasmin means in whoever, but this meaning is much more intense. Whenever, because that means this great knowledge that you get in your mind has to be sustained. It's called Nididhyasanam. Understanding, questioning, and understanding is Shravanam. Contemplating and asking questions to the Guru and then refining it's Mananam. And once you got it, you are with this. Whether I am in the class or when I am driving and somebody makes wrong things, I avoid the wrong things, I correct the wrong things, but I don't hate him. I don't shout. I don't do anything because he is the same soul like me. So I'm able to differentiate the divinity from the differing nama rupam and its perception. That is a nishta. And when you are like that, then where is moham? What is moham means? Generally, moham means delusion, right? Confused mind. But here now you can have a very better definition because that means I am not able to see Atma Tattvam in others. That means moham is a screen that filters my vision. Moham is therefore the ajnana prayojanam, ajnana phalam, which makes me see things differently. That means moham is dvaitam. That means it's a samsara karanam. Samsara karanam means shokam. Shokam means it is caused by raga dvesham. Raga means attachment, dvesha means hate. So therefore, if I have hate or liking, because there's something other than me, they will give me shokam. Sukham is also dukkam, right? We already saw in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Dukkam means samsara. Samsara means I'm deluded. So I get in trap. So, yasmin. Therefore, I must create nishta. Then, if you take vijanataha as a person, a pronoun, one who knows it, for yasmin, therefore, whoever does it. So that means, what is the samsara nivritti is atmajnanam. What is atmajnanam's idea? That you see atma in everything. Now, how the idea is get implemented, you bring in equanimity. How the equanimity is enforced, you have a pure mind. How does a pure mind comes? By doing karma sannyasam and karma yogam. How do I do the karma yogam, karma sannyasam? I do the right karmas. That means I live a virtuous life, righteous life. So this is how the whole thing comes through. You just see whether I can do the last one. Yeah, I can. So the eighth one is Sa Parya Mavrana Asnavirakum Shuddhamaba Papavitam Kavir Manishi Paribuhu Swayambuhu Yada Tatchitorta Arthan Yada Dacha Swadipyaha Samapyaha. Okay, let me just Anvayam and do that. Saha Paryagat Saha. Saha means he. Who is he? Vijanataha. The one who, in the previous law, one who is able to see everything else as Atma. That means if he sees everything else as Atma, he sees himself as Atma. Therefore, Saha here is Atma, or the Atma Tattva. It is not the external I, the egoistic I. It is the true I. So that Atma is Paryagat, moving everywhere. What it means is omnipresence. He is everywhere. So moving everywhere, it's everywhere. It's omnipresent. It is now trying to remove this Anatma. See what it is going to do now. The moment you see that, you understand Atma Tattvam, Atma is I. Everybody, all the Vedantis agree to Atma Tattvam. No difference in Veda. All the Vedanta schools, Atma is there. Where the Advaita differs, the Atma and the Paramatma, or the Atma Tattvam in Jiva and the Atma Tattvam in the Ishvara, is the same. Therefore, Jiva is Ishvara. How can it be? Ishvara is mammoth. He is the one who creates universal mind. I am a little one. Even though I say I have the Atma's Vali, I have the Atma Chaitanya, how can you take a drop of water in the sea and say it is sea? Sea is ocean, right? I take a drop of water. Can I say it's sea? It is so ridiculous to say Jiva is Ishvara. So this is there are arguments in this. I will not go into that. No, but then you missed the concept. It is not the comparison of the drop of sea water in my hand and the massive sea there. I'm not comparing it. When I compare the ocean with the wave, they are two different things. But I'm comparing what? What is the wave made of? Wave is made of water. What is the ocean made of? Water. So what is the saram of wave on the ocean? Water. So how can it be not different? Well, ocean is big, wave is small. Yeah, but the big wave becomes small wave and the wave just disappears into the big ocean. Purnamadaka Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. So therefore, this modification to Nama Rupam cannot be the judging factor. So he is bringing to the Mahavakyam, Jiva Ishvarakyam, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, building all this into this. So it's Atma Tattvam, which is everywhere. Now he is breaking the jinx. Shukram, Akayam, Avranam, see, you can see Avranam, Ashnaviram, Suddham, Apapavittam. The important is Akayam. Kaya means body, embodiment. Akaya means without embodiment. So he is giving now definition of Atma in a slightly different way. This Atma is Shukram Akaya. Shukram means luminous. That is this subtle body. The mind. Antakarna. Shukram Akaya. So it does know this Sukshma body. That means it is not that Sukshma body. There's not subtle mind. Therefore, Atma is not mind, Chittam, Buddhi, Hankaram. It is not that. Then what? Is it this physical body? The physical body is using two definitions. Avranam. Ranam means wound, cut, or part. Avranam means without part. So this body is full of part, hand, fingers. So he talks about the gross body. Avranam, it is not a gross body. Avranam akayam, it is not that gross body. Ashnaviram. Ashnaviram means literally nervous system. It is fabricated with nerves. So we can take the meaning of it as Ashnaviram means that which binds this body, gross body, super body. That means all this pranamayam, everything, nerves carry this energy. So all this gross body, subtle body, it is not. Then Shuddham. It is Shuddham. That means Ashuddham Akayam. It is not with blemish. What is a blemish? If you remember Tattva Bodha, the Stula Sariram is the gross body. Sukshma Sariram is the mind and Andakaranam. The mind travels around like a jiva. The travel itinerary, the travel plan, trajectory, the flight plan is booked by the karma palam, samskaram. The samskaram is the karana rupam, causal body. The causal body contains always samskaras, vrittis. They are the blemish, aklishta. So it is not Shuddham. That means it is not causal body. Why it is Shuddham? Because it is Apapavittam. It has no sin. Why is no sin? Sin here also means Papam and Punyam. No Papa Punyam. Why no Papa Punyam? I do all of actions, but you do as a Karma Yogi. Karma Palatyaga. Therefore Arjuna kills, he kills not. That's what Bhagavan says. So everything, that's why violence, when we say, non-violence, we say it's not conditional in our Sanatana Dharma. It depends on the context and your attitude. So Atma here in the first line said, it is not this body. It negates the Anatma. Takes away. So if somebody knows this, he's kavihi. Kavi is generally poet, but here it is Dirka Darshanaha, one who knows everything else. Omniscient. Because if I am the same in you, your knowledge and my knowledge, it may be in a different body, it comes out of it. Atma knows it. Sarvagyan means that's what it is. It's not that I know what you know. Because the expression of knowledge comes from the embodiments. Your body is different from my body. So there is a difference there. But we are the same. Manishihi. Ishana means to rule. Manishi means ruling the mind. So he is beyond the mind. Paribhuhu. Paribhuhu means omnipresent. One is dwelling in all. Swayambhuhu. He is self-existent. There's no cause for him. So again, rephrasing what Atma is. But what does it do? It does Swasvadipyaha Samapyaha. Samapyaha means one who is existing Swasvadam, forever. That means the Ishvara, the Prajapati, the Hiranyagarbha, embodiment of Saguna Brahma. To that, it does, what does it do? Yada tat yadaha arthan. Yata tat yadaha. Yata, whoever, tat yadaha, whoever, whatever they need to do, that arthan, that karma. Oh, Agni, that you be the heat. Oh, Jala, you be the coolness. Oh, Vayu, you be the sparsha. Oh, space, you be the hearing. It gives a duty to each dharma. Satyam vadishyami, Ridam vadishyami. It makes allocate all those things. And then demigods are created. And demigods got different powers. And then the gods can create other beings and allocate the karma. So all these karmas reaction, all this mithyatvam, nama rupam, all that is allocated in the empirical reality by the presence of Chaitanya. So I think I'll stop it here. So I think I put a lot of things, but I try to summarize it because from 9th onwards, we are going to see not Vedanta much, we are talking about the Pravritti Marg. How do we prepare ourselves for the Karma Yogam, Karma Nishti, to qualify ourselves? In fact, it is more relevant to many of us, at least to me, because we haven't reached that Jnana Nishta stage. We will have slightly touched this one last class, then next class, and then move to the different idea. So I hope that you can revise those things and then understand and try to appreciate the 8 mantras. Okay. Purnamada Purnamidam
Purnamidam
Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnasya Purnamadaya
Purnasya Purnamadaya
Purnamevavasishyate
Purnamevavasishyate
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om
Shanti,
Shanti
Shanti,
Shanti
Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you all in the next class, next session.